Okay, welcome everybody, and this is the bottom of Daf Lamed Aleph Amud Beis. The Mishnah before was about two kadorim, two potters. Both of them were uh, okay. What happened to the potters over there? One person fell, and then the rest of the person fell on top of him. The Brisa says another person fell on top of him. Here we have one that's Korah, and one is Chavis, which the more brought down this part of this Mishnah also yesterday. But Zeh Baba Chaviso, Zeh Baba Karasa. One person, two people walking in Rosh Hashanah. The first case is talking about, is the screen good? The first case is talking about that they're coming towards each other. The next case is going to be what the Gemara brought yesterday, that one is following the other. So Zeh Baba Chaviso, Zeh Baba Karasa. One person is coming in the street with his barrel, and the other one is with tzad, jug. The other one is coming with a beam. Nishbro Kadosh Zeh Baba Karasa, and there was a collision between them. Potter. So the Balkar doesn't have to pay. Both of them are permitted to go on the street. And of course, you watch out. But you can't blame the Balakora more than the Chavis because both of them collided into each other. So he's Potter. My next case is that they're going behind each other. And this case is that the Balakora is in front and the Balachabas is behind. Nishbro Chavis Bekora. How did that happen? The barrel broke. How did it happen? Because the Chavis was going too fast. So that's his fault. It's the back one. The second one, he went too fast with his fragile Chavis and he bumped into the chorus. He can't have any time. It's but the Balakora. The Balakora doesn't have to pay because he shouldn't have gone into my Korah. That I think we would agree to that also. Next up, over here on top of the page, the opposite, but not yet the opposite. No, not the opposite. But the Balakora stopped. You're not supposed to stop in the middle of the street. So that's like a short stop or something like that. So then the Balakora does have to pay because he shouldn't have stopped. But if he told the Balachavis stop, he told the Chavis, he made a red light. He blinking lights. He signaled to the guy behind him, I'm going to stop. So then he's potter. The Gemara talked about yesterday if he was Amad Lakate, if Amad Lafush, was it a legal stop or an illegal stop? When someone's carrying something in the street, so he's not allowed to just stop and take a rest over there. You got to go off to the side. But he would be allowed to adjust the package, and that's called illegal. You have to be standing far enough that you should be ready in case he adjusted. You can't be right behind him. So then the Balakar would have been potter. And the Gemara talks about if it would have been if he would have had is that a time that he should have still told him that he's going to stop when he's making a legal stop? Does he also have to have the bearings at least to tell him? That was Machlokes yesterday, Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Nachman Bar Yitzchak, I think, and I think Machlokes supposed to be passing like when a person is in Tarud, he was occupied, he had to get up from the fall, or he had to just a package that's falling off. Do we expect him to have enough bearing that he should be able to tell the one before? That was a machlokes. If you hold that he's not expected, so the case would be Ahmad Balakora Chayiv. If it was Ahmad Lafush that he made an illegal stop. If he made a legal stop, then it wouldn't have been a time of why didn't he warn anybody. Imam Balachabas Amod Potter, that the Gemara said was a chiddush that even though he made an illegal stop, but if he told the person behind him that I'm going to stop, that is also enough reason to be potter because he warned him that I'm going to stop. I'm not allowed to stop, and I'm stopping. And if he warned the person behind him that I'm stopping, so then he would be potter. The next case is that the Balachavas is in the front. The vulnerable, the fragile one, is in the front. And the Balakar is behind him. Because if the one behind went too fast, how did the Chavis break? Because the Korah went too fast. He bumped into him. So then he's chayiv. He shouldn't have gone so fast. But if it's the Balachavas' fault, Imam Balachavas Pater will say he made an illegal stop, that the Balachavas wasn't supposed to stop. So there's a person behind you, the car behind you is coming, and the Balachavas who has the fragile Chavis, he stopped in a way that he wasn't supposed to. So then the Balakar is Pater, he shouldn't have stopped. Imam the Balakar Yamod Chayiv. If the one in front told the one behind him, I'm going to stop. I have to make a stop. Well, I'm going to stop, even though it's an illegal stop. So slow down and stop. So then also chayiv because the balakor should have stopped. Another example, I don't know what the chiddush is going to be about this more than the first case. The first case was a korah and a chavis. So too, a ner and a pishtan. Whenever you have something That's the attacker, the ner. Krishna is the vulnerable one. The ner is like the Korah, and the Krishna is like the Chavis. So those are the three cases. One case was where they collided into each other, then the putter, because both of them are allowed to go, one behind the other. So then the one behind has to be careful for all the normal stops, and the one in front is not allowed to make an illegal stop. If he does, so then he has to warn, and if he did warn, then the one behind him would be the one who's liable, either for being mazik or he's not going to get paid back for being nizo. So that was the Mishnah. Asked the question in general. He didn't go on our Mishnah. He asked the general question. During marital relations, if the husband was accidentally damaged his wife, some kind of hezek, he did it in a way that he caused the hezek to his wife. Is he chayv to pay? That means the husband has no right to be mazik his wife. Surely not intentional, and even unintentional, you have to be adam word laolam. So we might. That's the question. Adam word laolam. He didn't mean to, but he caused damage to his wife. Is he chayiv as any mazik? What's the question? Since he's allowed to have marital relations, so he's doing something which is permissible. So then it's not, even though I don't know what this new klal, but we have to figure out what this new klal is. We know Adam Wod La'olam. Now we're saying that not. The Mishnah also says that some cases a person is potter, even though he was mazik. You don't just say Adam Wod La'olam. Here, the Gemara thinks there's a tzad to say that since they're allowed to have marital relations, he's not stam involved, so it's a permitted. That's the reason why he should be potter, maybe. I'm not sure of the Hagdorah. I'd like that.
He's doing a mitzvah.
Even a mitzvah, yeah. But I still I still don't have a Hagdorah. Like I don't have a definition. We say Adam Wud La'olam, and now we have a P'tor. What is the P'tor? What's the Hagdorah of the P'tor? He's saying because he's doing a mitzvah. The Gemara doesn't say that. That would be maybe another point. But here it just says that he's allowed to. The Gemara is going to give examples of cases that he's allowed to. And even on Mishnah also, I still don't have enough understanding. If you say Adam Wud La'olam on one hand, on the other hand, we say sometimes he's going to be Pater. So I'm not clear yet. But here it says maybe since he's allowed to do what he's doing, so he's Pater. Or Dilma, he should have been more careful. That even though, so the first side is what? He doesn't have to be so careful. What I'm doing something permissible. I'm not supposed to expect. So why is that different than every Adam Wud La'olam? Adam Wud La'olam means you're doing what you're allowed to do, but you got to be careful. So I'm not sure what the question, let's see. Amalei, so Rav Huna answered, then he saw, we have a Mishnah, our Mishnah. He saw in our Mishnah the answer to this question. What does he see? The case, the Mishnah is talking about a Chavis and a Korah, they're coming opposite directions in the street, they're walking towards each other, and they bumped into each other, and the Chavis broke. So it says it's parted because both of them are allowed to go. So here too, the husband and the wife, it's called also Zer Likrat Zer, it's going to be like they're coming, and it might have been, the Gemara thinks at this point that it's the same thing. They made a collision, some kind of a collision in a way that she got damaged. So he'd be putter because he has permission to do what he's doing. He has permission to come on the street over here. So he has permission to have the relations, and therefore be putter. But Rava argues, Rava says to Rav Huna, or about Rav Huna, Kavachomer. I could bring a Kavachomer to say that he should be chayiv. The case of the Torah where it says that someone's chayiv is, here's talking about even for killing. The case that the case is mazik, not he didn't kill her, just mazik. But the Gemara case brings a case from Golos, that a person killed by mistake. So it says the scenario is that someone goes into the forest in order to chop trees, and he has a garzen, he has axe, and somehow he killed somebody by mistake. So it says that he's chayiv Golos. That's considered, yes, chayiv Golos. Not considered, it's considered a shogeg, which is chayiv. Over there, chayiv Golos. He had a question of mazik. But what does he see in the Kal V'chomer? Well, my yar, a forest. Everyone's allowed to come into a forest. He's allowed to go in a forest. The Gemara doesn't call it the Shusa. I didn't notice that word. It doesn't mean if he's allowed to. It says he's coming into his own domain. That's interesting. I didn't notice the words when I prepared before. Each one's going into his own domain. Mm-hmm. It doesn't talk the same. The word Rishus a second ago meant permission. Here it doesn't mean permission. It means domain. Each one's going into his own domain. It's not his own domain, of course. It's a public forest, but it means he's allowed to go there. But that's called he's going into his own proximity. He's going into his own location, I guess. I'm not sure. Still, we consider it as if you went to in somebody else's domain, that you're allowed to chop wood over here, but you have to be careful that your axe is not going to fly into somebody else's proximity. So that's called that even though you went in your own we consider it, and the Torah considers it that you went into the other one's domain and you are chayiv. So when a person is having relations, he's going into his wife's domain. So the Gemara considers that a kavachomer that he should be also both of them do have permission. I'll add down that on also, even though it doesn't say it in the words. Both of them have permission to go into the forest, and even each one is in his own. He wasn't coming to penetrate the other one's proximity, but here he is coming to penetrate his wife's domain. So Kolshkin, he should be chayiv, even though it's with permission. So the Gemara thinks, without the Mishnah, just from the pasuk alone about Golos, the Gemara thinks that should be a proof that he should be chayiv, and that's going to be the maskana that if a husband by mistake he met with his wife during relations, he would be chayiv. What do you do with our mission that says that the person with the Korah and the Chav is going in the street, they were bumped into each other, so he is potter because he has permission to go there? Why is it different than your case? Both of them, it came with the power of both of them. It means it's called a head-on collision.
They were both walking.
Both walking, and I think the point is going to be that the impact of both of them, it wasn't that one was stationary and the other one, if the Chavis would have been
They were
stationary.
each responsible for some of the damage.
And but I think the one is pressing the point about the fact that both of them were equal.
Both of them were equal.
Does that mean because both of them had an impact? Does it want me to say that if the Chavis would have been standing for some reason, I don't know if you're allowed to stand in the street, we had the second ago that you're not allowed to stand if someone's behind you. But if no one's behind him, is he allowed to stand? And then the Korah came and he bumped in. Each one has just to be there. But over there, the Chavis might be chayiv. I just get the impression that the Gemara is saying that Havai Kadadinin, both of them are walking, so therefore it was head-on collision. The impact of both of them walking, that's what caused the damage. I'm not sure if I'm right. But Hacha, Iu covered Maisa here by the husband, but during relations, so the husband is the one who's active, the woman is passive, she's stationary, and the husband is the one who's movement is the one that caused the damage. So he is going to be high, even though the shus and the going by shus. So Gemara is adding on. Yeah, the Gemara is adding on. That's good. Everyone's good. Yeah. So the Gemara is adding on that there's another condition. It's not enough that it has to be the shus that you're going by shus. It has to be also that the impact was a result of both of them. I think that's the words. So Gemara Sakasha Hilo is the woman when there's marital relations, is she not involved? Is it not considered that she's also involved and being active? Let's say the Gemara says. I don't think the Gemara is asking. The Gemara is going to say right away that what it means that it's at this point the Gemara seems to say that the Torah calls it an act. Is she not doing an act? 1 second, just to get it over here. When it talks about the man and woman that had illicit relationships, it says both of them are chayiv kares, and it says ha'osos, both of them who did it. So the Gemara thinks to say, you're saying here that it's not a ma'isa. What did it say? Iu covered ma'isa. He's the one who did the act. The pasuk says both of them did. Both of the people did the act. So it's called that the woman also partakes in the act. Mm-hmm. The Gemara answers, "Hana the tavayu islahu. Iu ma'isa the covered." The pasuk doesn't mean that she's doing something active. She is passive. But since she enjoys it, since she has enough from it, that's also called that she was involved. But it doesn't mean to say that she's active. And here we're talking about the chivas only if the one who is active. So I think that's the Gemara saying that is it possible to learn different than I'm saying? I thought the pshat of the Gemara is because of the impact that both of them are moving. If one would be stationary, even though it's a result of both of them, you might say. But if the one who's the chavos is standing, so then it isn't the impact of both of them. He's passive, and then it seems that the car will be chayiv. So that's what I got out of the Gemara. The Gemara again to sum it up. The Mishnah Baya says that if they come towards each other, so the balakor is putter, and the Gemara seems to explain because it says both of them coming rishus. That the Mishnah says both of them are rishus. The Gemara adds on another factor that it has to be that both of them were involved in the collision. Mm-hmm. But in a case where only one is, even though it's brishus, it's not enough to be potter, so the husband would be chayiv. The case of Golos, the Gemara brought over there a kavuchomer that even though both of them are brishus, the rishus nichnas also is chayiv. What are we going to say? Because it was his active, the other one was passive. The Mishnah continued. Hay balakor rishon. The balakor is in front of the balchavis. So it says if the chavos went into him, the balakora is putter. If the balakora stopped, so then the Balachabis, then he's chayiv because he shouldn't have stopped. If he warned, then I'm going to stop. So then he would be potter. Amr Lakish. I didn't get this Gemara.
The part where the Balkor was first, what did we say about what?
Here it says, "Want to tell you about Torah Rishon." There was this case over here. The dangerous one is in front, and the vulnerable one is behind. So if the one behind went too fast and crashed into him, so then it's his fault. So the car is potter.
Yeah.
But if the car stopped and he shouldn't have stopped, so then he's going to be chayiv. If he warned, I'm going to stop, so then he's potter.
And if he said stop, okay, fine.
So I didn't get the comparison of the Gemara, so I'm just learning together. Like I introduced that Chavus was near to that. Amrish Lakis. We had this for the third time now. This is the third time we're having this Gemara, and I don't understand what the Gemara's comparison is going to be. Shtei Paras B'Rishus Rabbin. Achas Revutza, V'achas Malachas. 2 cows in the Rishus Rabbin. One of them lied down, and one of them was walking. So we said a couple of times. This is called Kala Mashan Chavashinabo. That the one that lied down, not supposed to lie down in the Rishus Rabbin. So the malachas b'revutza b'tur. That's the main chiddush, I think, that if the one who was going normally kicked the one who's lying, potter, and they got the Gemara said because kol hamashana b'achav b'shinigbo.
If the one lying down was doing something unusual, then it's expected the walking one would also do something unusual.
And we said only by animals, not by people. That Taisus told us that only by animals. People are supposed to have the control that even if someone does something awkward, they're not supposed to lose his bearings. But Revutza b'malachas chayabes. So these words, Revutza b'malachas chayabes, I don't see any chiddush over there. Revutza b'malachas, is there any chiddush in that? If the one that's lying down, any reason why it should be more potter? Revutza, that the kick is
who's lying down kicks.
Not only did he lie down, he also kicks the one who's passing by. So of course he's chayiv, even if it would be standing also. I don't see any chiddush in these lines. Okay. This line, and the Gemara seems to want to focus on that line. This line, I don't see any chiddush. If the one cow lied down, not only do you have the chutzpah to lie down, he also kicks off and passes by. So of course it's chayiv. So the Gemara seems to want to bring a proof to this case of Revutza b'malachas is chayiv, which I'm not getting it. Let's bring a raya to Rish Lakish's statement from our Mishnah. This case that we're talking about in the Mishnah, that the Balkor was walking in front of the Balachabis. Nishbra Chavis Bikora Pater. If the Chavis went too fast and he smashed into the car in front of him, so the car is Pater, he shouldn't have come into me. But if the Balkor stopped, so then he is chayiv to pay. He shouldn't have stopped. So that's the end of the Mishnah that the Gemara wants. What do you see? So it's going in the case of Amad Balakor Chayiv.
So he's like
he's not normal.
Like the cow that laid down.
And
he's like a cow that laid down. Okay. Is that right?
That's what the Gemara is saying. The cow that laid down, he did something awkward.
What did Reish Lakish say that we're coming to?
So these were let's the Reish Lakish said 2 things, but the Gemara now is focusing on this part. These words is what the Gemara is focusing on now. Let's take this away a second over here. And the Gemara brings the raya because let's bring the raya over here. The raya is going to be from Imam Balakor Chayiv. The Gemara compares these 2 things. If when the Balakor stops, he's chayiv because someone crashed into him behind, he made it stop. He wasn't supposed to stop, so he's chayiv. And here the case was that a cow lied down and he kicked the one who's passing by. And the Gemara says this is a right to this. I don't see the havamina why he should be potter b'vutza b'malachas. In the case of the Balakora, was the chiddush that even though he bumped into me, but I stopped, I shouldn't have stopped. In the case of the Korah, I see
the Revutza is not the point here.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. The kicking is not the point. The lying down already was like the guy stopping. So the fact that he
but that's not the case. That's not the case.
Kick that he was lying down.
So the reason why it's high because he kicked. If a cow kicks, he's high. That's Karen. Even if he's standing and kicks. The fact that he happened to lie down, I don't see anything. Even when he learned it 2 times already, I never understood why does it make a deal out of this is push it. I thought it was only Agav, the other case.
Oh, because maybe that's Karen.
It is Karen.
Oh, it's not Rego.
No, kicked.
Oh, kicking it.
I should.
Kicking is always carried. You're right. Kicking
Yeah.
is always
So I never understood what the chiddush of these words are. Not everybody wants to bring a proof to it. And the proof is from our Mishnah. Our Mishnah, there is a little bit of a chiddush that the chavis smashed into the korah, but the korah, he thought the korah shouldn't have stopped. So here I do see a chiddush in the blue in the Mishnah. I see a chiddush that the korah said the korah is chayiv even though the chavis bumped into him, but he shouldn't have stopped. Okay, I got that, but I don't see that it needs a raya even. You need a raya to the case that if the revutza kicks the malachas is chayiv. So I'm a little shaky over here. It means I'm not. What?
Gemara doesn't like it either.
Uh-huh. Okay, we'll continue with Tisbra. Maybe the Mars only wanted to lead up with Tisbra. That doesn't make sense. Where's that?
Did you read that?
This case is similar to the Revutza damaging the Malachas. The Balkor is the one who's doing something not normal, and he damaged the Chavis. So that's like the Revutza, the one that can, and he's doing something not normal, and he damaged the Malachas.
Okay.
The Gemara says, and so the Gemara is happy. The Gemara is saying not that it contradicts. The Gemara is saying it's a proof, but the Gemara says it's not a proof. That Tisbra, you want to make a proof. You want to bring a proof from this case of the Korah to the case of the Rebutza. Lo Messiah, the Lo Messiah, Mikasha. It's not enough that it's not a proof. It's even difficult. It means it's a kasha. This is not a proof. The blue is not a proof to the green. The blue is a kasha on the green because time of the bata huzka memela potter. The dik is the other way. Resh Lakish only said that if the one that lied down kicked, that's the case they spoke about, kicking over here. So why is he high? Because a regular Karen. But Arusa b'malachas. That's the reason that he says that you're high. But it's mashma on the contrary. If huzka memela, what if the walking cow would have tripped on the lying cow? Means the lying cow is the one who's mazik, but he wasn't mazik actively. He was stationary, and malachas bumped into the revutza.
What's husker?
Which word? Huska damage. Nezek, the word nezek.
No, okay.
If the walking cow would have been damaged of itself, mamela, without active kick of the revutza, it's mashma on the it would have been putter. Why does it have to be such extreme case? According to the Mishnah, it's like the Balkora stopped. So and then someone bumped into him, so he's chayiv. So too, if the cow lied down, so the malachas should be put there. The malachas, if the revutza lied down, and the malachas by walking got damaged, also the revutza should be chayiv. So on the contrary, the Mishnah is contradictory to the statement of Rish Lakish. From a season to Memela, but Katani chayiv. The case of the Mishnah is that the Korah is being passive right now. He just stopped, and the chavis bumped into him. And also the Balkor is chayiv. So it's against Rish Lakish. The Gemara answers, Masnisan, the Pascal, the Orcha, Keshilda. We had this lesson before, when you want to say that it crosses the whole street, so it uses the word of an Avela. Shilda Rashi means an Avela. For some reason, Avela means that it's lying across the street. Pinchas said yesterday the reason is because the animal, maybe that's the pshat. But the point is that in the Mishnah, the case of the Korah, you know why? Why what? Why?
Why he's high? Because he's sticking all over the place.
But why we put the case of the putter? The question is the other way. Revutza b'malachas is chayiv only if he kicks. But if he would have, I'm not getting it. If he would have the case of the Korah, Masnisan. Oh, you're right. The case of the Mishnah is
because it was like the shoulder,
and the chavis couldn't get by on the sides. Means even when the Balkor, it seems even when the Balkor makes a stop, if the chavis would be able to turn to the side, so he should have to. It means even though the Korah did something wrong, he stopped the illegal stop, then he didn't say stop. But it seems it isn't. A person is far away, or at the rate that he's going, he'd be able to go to the side. He wouldn't have to go straight into him. But the case is that he wasn't able to go to the side because he was across the board. He was across the whole lane, and that's why the Balkor is chayiv, only because the Balchavis could have gotten out of getting damaged. But Hacha, Kigon the Rava B'chad Gisa, here the case that the lying cow would have been putter if the walking cow would have got damaged by walking into him. because the car was only lying on part of the lane. He should have gone to the other lane. So Lakish said that only if the lying cow is going to kick, which is Pasha, that is Karen, then he's going to be Chai. But if the walking cow would have walked into the lying cow, we're not going to say that the lying cow is going to be Chai, which I think we didn't learn this till now. I think we learned the difference that okay, I'm not sure. If the walking cow is going to be mazik, then he's going to say kolam shana. But if the walking cow got damaged from, here the Gemara says if he had to wait that he didn't have to walk on him, he won't be chayiv because it's his fault kind of thing. We had this for us once before by Dan. What's it called? Dan the car. We had the case of the car that you get out of the parking lot and you're allowed to, but if you get damaged, you can't have any tinus. So even though so the walking cow is when he can't have tinus if he gets hurt. You want to walk over me, you can walk over me, but at your own risk. That's what the Gemara seems to say. But by the Korah, the only reason why the Korah is going to be chayiv is because he had no way to avoid it.
And that works well also for the walking cows, because we said when it kicks, it's chayiv.
When he kicks his butter, the walking cow kicks his butter because because he did something awkward, so it triggers the walking cow even to kick. That was a question that maybe he's only whether to walk on top of them, maybe not to kick. That's going to be. It's going to say it again, maybe over here.
Okay.
But that's in the other case that the walking cow is the mazik. But here that the walking cow is the nizik. So that the Gemara wanted to say that he should be potter, even that he should be chayiv. The lying cow should have to pay for the damages of the walking cow, even if he got damaged. Same as the Korah. The Gemara says he should have walked to the side. And if the cow would have been lying across the street and the walking cow had no way to go to the side. So then what? Then he'd be potter even if he got damaged. You can't say you did it to yourself. I had no place to go.
Wouldn't he be chayiv?
What's that?
Wouldn't he be chayiv?
In which case?
Where it's like the shoulder.
If it would have been across the
a cow that lies down is not like a shoulder.
It depends which way you lie down. It says the case of the Mishnah, the case of the Rosh Lakish was talking about that he didn't lie across the street. But if he would have lied across the street, so then he would not just said if the lying cow kicked, even if the lying cow just caused damage passively to the walking cow, also he would have been chayiv.
Yeah.
We have to juggle this together with the Daninish over there. If the car was get out of his parking lot, but if he gets damaged by doing that, he's not going to be reimbursed.
No.
Even though he says I had no place to go.
Was it the walking cow that kicks? Was that a machlokas, or is that coming up?
The walking cow that kicks. So this is the concept. The kolam shana b'achav b'shina but been machlokas before, and the Gemara is going to say soon that it could be that even if you're allowed to walk, that maybe not allowed to kick. That's going to be. We had this lesson before also. How much is this concept of kolam shana b'achav b'shina? We do pass like that concept. The question is maybe how much? How much is allowed to be triggered? Okay. So the Gemara just finished saying that
what would you call it?
What did we do? We had a
Reish Lakis' statement, not a problem.
We can't, not a problem, but we didn't support him. The Gemara started off that this is support from the Mishnah to right. We got out of the kasha, but we didn't have any proof. But the Gemara is going to say there is a proof, a different point of Reish Lakish. Shall say for the Masnisim beside Leila Reish Lakish. The Tani Haya Bala Chavis Rishon Balkora Achron. The other case that the Balchavis is in the front, and the Balkora is in the back. Because the car went too fast. The guy behind, who's the dangerous guy, went too fast and he crashed into the vulnerable chavis in front of him. But if the Balchavis stopped, Potter.
That doesn't mean the Balchavis is Potter.
Well, no, the Balchavis didn't do anything. The Balchavis is the vulnerable one. The Balchavis is the fragile one. The Balchavis stopped.
Oh, if he stopped,
and then the car bumped into him. So he says, "What did you do to me?" He said, "You made a short stop." What I did.
Right.
That's opposite. Now the Gemara is going on this part. Till now the Gemara talked about the revutza b'malaches and this part of the Mishnah. Now the Gemara is changing everything around. Let's do that also.
Not going on. Change it around
because we're bringing a proof. We want to bring a proof from part of the Mishnah to something of Reish Lakish. This part, whether we just did before, it wasn't a kasha, it wasn't a proof, but it wasn't a kasha either. But it wasn't a proof to anything. And now the Gemara is going to go on this one.
Oh, the Melecha, the one who's walking kicked to the wall. That's what it means.
Right, and this was
Well,
the
no, we
famous
thought
case
he
of Kol
kicked
Mashana
the one
Bracha
who was lying
B'Shinaba. The cow was walking and he sees a cow that lied down in front of him, so and he kicked him. So he's put there. Mashlakish said because that's the Kaddish of Mashlakish because Kol Mashana Bracha B'Shinaba that you're lying down the street, so it triggers the cow somehow, and he kicked him. So that was, and I want to bring a right to that statement. What do you see? He wants to bring a right from this part of the Mishnah. Let's. What should we do over here? Ve'im Amad Baal Chavis Pater. I think this is it. Chavis is in front and he stopped, and the Korah bumped into him. So the Korah is Pater because you stopped. And the Gemara brings a raya from the Mishnah, from this Mishnah. But the Malachas Bevutza Ptura. Why? Because you Bevutza do something Mishuna. You lie down in the street. And that's why I walked into you or I kicked you.
Yeah.
And the Gemara thinks it's similar here, that the Chavis is the one who did something Mishuna. He's the one who stopped when he was supposed to stop. So he can't have tinus that someone bumped into him. So the Gemara thinks that's a good raya. But the Gemara says it's not such a raya. From here, the Gemara says, I could say it's not a raya. In the Mishnah, you just see that Malko was walking normal, and the guy made a short stop in front of him, so he bumped into him. So what can I do? I was walking normal. But Hacha Amaleh, it didn't get right. Hacha Amaleni, this Lachushusa is Guya Alai. Lavute be less Lachushusa. The lying cow could say, you only have a shus to walk over me. You don't have a shus to kick me. So it's not a raya. It doesn't say Rish Lakish is wrong. It just says it's not a raya in the Mishnah. All the Balkon that's going behind the Balchavis, he can say I was walking normally. It doesn't that be triggered over here. The Balkar wasn't triggered. Here, in order to say that walking cow should be allowed to kick, it's part of kicking the lying cow. You have to make up a new chiddush, a new concept that kol mashana b'achav v'shinabo. See, is mashanabo, but you don't have a right from the Mishnah because the Mishnah that says that if the Balchavis made a short stop and the Balkar walked into him, it wasn't because he got triggered. And we said Tosfos says there is no even B'torah by a person because he got triggered. A person not supposed to get triggered. That's supposed to go off the handle. But the animal is something. But that's not the Mishnah. The fact that the Balkar is potter when the Balchavis in front of him made a short stop, and that's why he bumped. I kept on walking normally. I didn't realize that you have enough time to see that he stopped. So that's not a right to the case of the cow. If the just would have said that the cow walked over him, that would be a raya. That you could say would be a raya that the cow stopped. It wasn't supposed to stop over there. It lied down, and the cow kept on going.
Walked over him and got damaged.
And damaged the lying cow.
So then the lying down would be chayav.
The kicker, the walking kicker.
Oh,
the walking.
The
other
one.
Yeah.
Right.
The
one that's walking over him. If he damaged that one,
right. Because same as the chavis that the korah, I'm the korah, you're the chavis, you stopped, and I kept on going. So then it would be potter. But if it wouldn't have a right that if he kicks, the walking cow kicked. So it's not a kasha on Rish Lakish, but it's just saying it's not a right to Rish Lakish. Rish Lakish says a new concept that Kol Mashana B'achav v'shinabo was potter. So Rish Lakish still stands. The question was if there was a right for the Mishnah. It comes out there's no right for the Mishnah.
I thought that this last line meant that we don't go with that phrase about getting triggered.
It's true, but it's not saying that it's wrong. It's just saying that it's no raya. You have to go into the shakal v'tai, the give and take of the Gemara. The Gemara, Rish Lakish something. The Gemara says I'll bring a right from the Mishnah. The Gemara says it's no raya. That's all it says. So now you can't say this Gemara that Rish Lakish is wrong. It just says you want to be right from the Mishnah. It's no right.
I see.
It's true that the Gemara just says.
I thought that last because I didn't see the forest from the trees apparently.
What is that?
I thought that this, you're not allowed to kick. I thought that was like a final statement.
I think not. I think he's just saying that.
Just saying it's no right for.
Right. Okay. And also there was a Gemara before that had such a mandama that argues on Rish Lakish. Okay. But I don't think the Gemara is saying that Rish Lakish is wrong. It's just saying that you have no right from the Mishnah.
Very good.
Okay, that was what we had about all kinds of collisions. These things, there's a change nowadays. Cars, I don't know, all the lachas about the cars, people in the street when they're walking, the horror should be the same as.
Especially now, everybody's clean with their eyes.
Yeah, and they don't have just to walk in the street when you're looking in the phone.
Right. And the trains are honking, and these people don't even hear it because there's all. Not question.
I didn't see it, but someone told me that a long time ago. But this is very old news. But that a woman, they had a video that a woman's walking in the street and she walked right in. They have those in front of the stores. They have sometimes a cellar that the doors open up.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long time. And she does
Oh,
walk.
she
Yeah,
just
she,
walked
she
right
tripped
into it.
right into it. She fell,
Into a cellar,
yeah, like like she does. There's the thing, there's
like a board.
a boar, mom, but she
Yeah,
does
yeah,
walk in
She
there.
walked into it
Yeah,
because she
yeah.
was looking at something
She
else.
was.
Yeah.
I guess.
And I guess it happens every day. People make all kinds of accidents because they're looking at.
And then she sues them and she wins. Yeah, she gets
That's
her
the end of the
lawyer.
story.
Yeah, I know.
Probably.
You get a good lawyer or something.
Okay. Shnayim shalom alchem Rishus Harabim. Echad rotz v'echad malech. Oh, so Shneim Matzin, two people walking in Rishus Harabim. One was running, and one was walking normally. Or both of them were running, not normally. Fiziku zeh, and they damaged each other. Shnei pturim. Both of them are putter. Why? So the second case,
Even if one is walking and one is running, they're still putting.
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds weird, right?
So maybe, are you allowed to run in the Rishus Harabim? Are you allowed to run?
Yeah.
You allowed to run in Rishus Harabim?
Depends.
The runners are always wrong. That's where you run. You run in the
You
street.
could have a course, they have a running course, they have a lane, they have special places.
Yes.
The question also what running means. Running, I think in the Gemara, but we'll see soon. I don't think it always means like jogging, like we call it, what we call running. When the way people walk on in a busy commercial street on Malchi Yisrael, I think that's called running. Walking fast, that's called. I think the way people walk in a busy commercial street is called running.
Why?
That's what the word running means. I think to walk fast, businesslike, to walk fast, determined, going. Maybe.
I would think so. I would think like I've seen pictures of the sidewalk in Times Square or in New York, a big street,
Right.
and there's lots of people and they're all walking a certain pace.
Right.
And then somebody's like running
Not the
faster
regular
than
pace.
everybody else, and they could be knocking people over.
Mm.
I think that's
You say mamish running, a real running. Okay, so far the mission will be good like that. And the chiddush is that the run is going to be potter.
Yeah.
One person is running, one person is going normal, and there's ziku zeh. And now ziku zeh, I also don't get what the words mean exactly. There was head-on collision. Both of them got damaged. I didn't look. I didn't see. The husku zeh bozeh. But also, it's not going to say one was mazik the other one. What if the runner was mazik? His ziku zeh. They were mazik each other. What's that again? The ziku. The ziku. What else do we have here? Other yourselves. There's an aleph and a dalet over here. What's this all about? Who's so he's not changing the girsa. He's not changing the girsa. He's just saying Ezekiel zeh means Hainu Husku zeh unintentionally. Of course, it was intentionally. He says Yibichai Babal Ezekiel B'Kavan. The Chayiv can't be Rashi.
What does Husku zeh mean?
They got damaged one one with another.
So they both
both got damaged.
They both got damaged, and it was without.
Without what?
They're both
without kavanah.
Without kavanah. I didn't mean that. No, Rashi is saying the way the Bach says nobody intended it. He didn't intend. Okay, we'll say that. We'll agree to that. And what else was there? Hein Rashi Lakavan, the same thing. So that's what the Bach wanted to tell us. Each got damaged. So why doesn't it say a simple case that the walker got damaged? Wouldn't it be true? Why does it say Dafka that both of them got damaged? What does it mean? If either one got damaged, it should have said. It should have said Nizak Echad, whatever. Who's like his Ezeh? That's the question. Ziku. It doesn't say his Ezeh. It says Ziku Zeh. That means that one was Mazik, the other. It means either way. Is that what the words mean? I thought Ziku Zeh means that they bumped into each other and both of them got damaged. Or does it mean that one was mazik the other, no matter which one was mazik each other one?
No, I thought about they
both got damaged. What if one of them what if only the walker got damaged? Like the regular case of the guy in Manhattan over there, that the runner damages, that makes more, that's probably what happened. The runner damages the people that are walking. So the putter. So in these explanations, the Gemara is going to talk about something. I still don't know exactly why. Okay, so far it seems to say, and like Yaakov was saying, why should he be putter? Both of them are running. Okay, you're both the same. But one is running, one is walking. The Chorah should be more blame on the one that is running. If he was mazik, the walker.
Right. The fact that the law is the same for both cases seems weird.
Right. So the Gemara first of all starts that it's not so simple. The machlokes. Masis and Lo Isi ben Yehuda. Isi ben Yehuda was a Tana. He argues in our Mishnah. The Tanya Isi ben Yehuda Omer Rotz Chayv Neishu Mishuna. So that's what Levi Yaakov said. Levi Yaakov holds like Isi ben Yehuda that they run as Chayv because he's the one who's doing something not normal and not supposed to run in the street. So good. That's what Levi Yaakov wanted. If both of them are running, but if only one of them is running, the runner is the one who is doing Mishuna. It doesn't have to do with the Kalam Mishana Bacha. Nothing to do with that. He's doing something that's not normal.
Could you also be talking about both of them running?
It says two cases. Again.
I thought you were saying Isi ben Yehuda was only talking about the first case. He's talking
Yeah,
about
right.
both cases.
No, he says Rotz Chayv Neishu Mishuna.
So they're both Mashuna. So what difference does it make if it's the second case?
That's the reason why they should be Chayv. Both of them
for the other one because they're both.
If they got bumped into each other as a result of both of them running, so why does each one have a time on the other one? If both of them are running, so why should
it's going to even out or something?
I would think so. Both of them are not normal. If both of them are walking, putter. Both of them are running, putter. But if one is running, one is walking, so then Isi ben Yehuda says that the runner should be chayiv. If both of them are mashuna, is that good? I think it's going to say so beferish in a second, but I'm not sure.
I thought that meant you're saying that the damage, if it's mashuna, they should be chayiv, right?
But if both of them are mashuna, so then it's to be putter again.
It cancels the other one.
You can't say that I'm responsible because I was mashuna. You also were mashuna. Both of them were running in the street and they got damaged from each other. So then,
and what if one got damaged more? He wouldn't have paid.
Or one got damaged, and even if one got damaged and the other one didn't get damaged, I also would think that it's the same. What if two people are walking? The case you had before, two people are walking, and one of them got damaged. So it's put out. That's the case of the Chavis and the Korah. Both of us have just to go over here. So
if two people are running, also the same.
I would think so. And the more I think there was, they said before, even if Qadis Ben Yehuda, that's only one. So the Gemara starts off, okay, no kashas. The Mishnah is against Isi ben Yehuda. Isi ben Yehuda, we're arguing on Mishnah. In parentheses, which we'll elaborate on the parentheses later. Mod Isi be'erev Shabbos ben Hashmoshe, shu pater b'nei Shabbat b'reshus. Erev Shabbos, toward Shabbos, you're allowed to run. Because Shabbos is coming. So
which I didn't understand. I thought that meant they're running home because they've got to cook the fish. Because they got to get the packages home before
Shabbos comes. Let's say
they can't be traveling.
So let's say you're right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it is?
I would say so. The difficulty is going to be because the Shabbos have to get their goods before Shabbos, or they have to get home. Whatever the case is, Erev Shabbos is always lachutz, always pressure before Shabbos. So the question might be that it says Ben Hashmoshes. Ben Hashmoshes means you're really not supposed to be doing anything anymore. If it would say before Shabbos, hour before Shabbos, if everyone starts running. But here it says Ben Hashmoshes. So the Gemara might talk about that. But let's take it easy. Let's take it easier shot. That before Shabbos, towards Shabbos gets late, then you're allowed to run.
Ben Hashmoshes is already Shabbos?
Ben Hashmoshes is a suffix Shabbos. It's after sunset until say
considered. We don't do it anymore in Melacha.
Because it's a suffix. Maybe it's Shabbos.
Yeah.
Maybe from Shkia it's not Shabbos already.
Is that a Chumrah?
No, it's a suffix deraisa.
Suffix deraisa.
Let's say after 40 minutes.
40 and sunset. 40 minutes. No, 40 minutes is mamish way before Shabbos. Yeah, 40 minutes till Shabbos comes. Shkia is when Shabbos starts. He's supposed to make Tosefah Shabbos a little bit.
Okay.
And how much is a little bit? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. They make 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Some people are not happy with the 40 minutes. Why? It's too much. It's not
practical.
It's also not practical, but I think that Sfardim, Rabbi Yosef, I heard that he was not happy with the 40 minutes. It's too much before Shabbos. It's not called Tosefes, like it's. And then I heard here the Rabbanim over here that someone started a campaign to make an extra 10 minutes. We could do it 15 minutes before Shabbos, and they didn't like it. They wanted someone to make another 10 minutes earlier. They want the women to be 10 minutes before. They do that sometimes. They make it so before Shabbos. And they wanted to make some kind of a prize and this. And the Rabbanim over here said, no, don't do such.
So today, like everybody knows that Shabbos today is 4:08. So it's not really 4.
Right,
it's 4:48.
Right, and you have to make some tosef. Right, but that's
when it says Shabbos, it means hadlikas.
Right, but right, but they're adding on 40 minutes to Shabbos, right? And the bell rings, but you have to know that it's not Shabbos. It's Tosefah Shabbos, and the question is how much Tosefah should you make? Sometimes it makes the women very pressured, and it could be it's too much. You don't have to. better come into Shabbos a little bit more calmer with 20 minutes before Shabbos. Okay. But
it's always a rush. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Be 20 minutes.
Yeah,
15 minutes. It's always
yeah, winter time, summertime. The summertime when it's 8 o'clock, you're still late.
This week we have
so
Right.
what? I'm sorry.
we have extra time.
What happens this week?
It's a little later than last week.
It could be that the 40 minutes is practical, is useful that you have 40 minutes and then you finish up it, but don't feel like
And the
40
bell's
minutes.
ringing and I
Right.
Okay.
Okay. What?
I like it better than
18 minutes because it gives you more time. Right. But don't think that it's Shabbos when it comes and then
No, Banish Mashas is from
Benish Moshe is from Shkia after
Shkia.
sunset. After
Yeah.
sunset, then it's very suffix the rest. So that's going to be a question. When Benish Moshe, what are you doing? Benish Moshe is already. You're allowed to tell a guy to do something. Sometimes, you're not doing malacha. So I think the Gemara might talk about it soon. But this is in parentheses that even when you do the whole Erev Shabbos is different because then you're allowed to run also. So a runner and a walker, they're all the same. He did his shont. He didn't do his shont yet, but everyone's allowed to. So that's the our mission is against. So the Gemara doesn't at this point try to reconcile the Mishnah. Well, no, Kash on the Mishnah. The Mishnah holds that you put there even if one is running, one is walking. And Nisi Ben Yehuda says, no, the runner is chayiv. Rabbi Yochanan, halacha Nisi Ben Yehuda. So he passes like the Nisi Ben Yehuda against our Mishnah, that the runner is illegal. You're not allowed to run in the street, and he's chayiv if he damaged. Only Erev Shabbos is different. Not a contradiction. There's a general rule. Rabbi Yochanan likes all Stam Mishnayos, and our Mishnah is a Stam Mishnah, and it's against Nisi Ben Yehuda. Like we started off, that the Mishnah is against Isa Ben Yehuda. And how can you pass like Isa Ben Yehuda? He's supposed to pass like the Mishnah always. The Gemara now comes to reconcile the Mishnah. Mastis and Be'er Shabbos, Ben Hashmoshes. We could say that Isa Ben Yehuda is talking, and he means Erev Shabbos. When it says Echad was Echad Malach is Potter, it means Dafka Erev Shabbos. Lil Dochak. The Gemara says it's not a Dochak. It's Muchach. And this is what the Gemara continues. How can I prove that the Mishnah says that you Potter when one is running, it says two cases. One is running, excuse me, both of them are running. Why do you have to say that one is running? I'm sorry. What do you have to say? Both of them are running is Potter. I'm sorry. Thank you. Much appreciated. Once the Mishnah says even one of them is running his potter, so Kal V'chomer, both of them are running. Hashta Echad was V'ech Malchus potter, Shneim Ratzim Yiboya. So the Mishnah doesn't make sense. If it says that the Kash was asked that it's extra to say Shneim Ratzim, must be Halachi Kamma. The Mishnah must be that in some cases you'll be potter when one of them is running, but in some cases you'll only be potter if both of them are running. Echad was V'echad Malach potter, and who's that? Isi ben Yehuda. V'med V'mamurim Be'ev Shabbos Ben Hashmoshes. Aval B'chol Echad was V'echad Malach is Chayiv. So the Gemara does put Isi Ben Yehuda into the Mishnah, and the fact that it says two cases, one or both, so one is potter only on Erev Shabbos, and both of them are running then is potter even in the weekday.
So what happened now? The Mishnah, the ratio of the Mishnah is Erev Shabbos?
Yeah, right. This part of the Mishnah will make it green also, yellow and green, whatever. Echad was Echad Malach. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that either. This case is only Erev Shabbos.
That's Erev Shabbos.
Right.
And the two of them going is
it a weekday?
So it's also Dochak, isn't it? Why would you have the Mishnah?
But it's a Dochak. You're right. But or maybe it's Chasuri Mechsua, maybe something's missing, but it's understood. It means to say that sometimes it'll be Potter even if one of them is running. And so you're right that it's
when one of them, because
and sometimes only both of them are running. But
because it's Erev Shabbos, he's putter, but regular during the week he'd be chayav.
Right.
And when it's the regular week,
then
they're both putter.
Only if both of them are running. The putter only both of them are running.
On if it's Erev Shabbos.
Again, Shneim Ratzim is putter even in the weekday. Both of them are running, so they're putter.
Even during the weekday.
Even during the weekday.
I see.
And so that's what we were talking about before. That even according to Ben Yehuda, the Mishnah, that Shneim Ratzim is potter, even though they're both not being normal. Both of them are potter. Doesn't mean after because they collided, even if one bumped into the other one. One of them is fall. I mean to say that. Only one got damaged. The Mishnah sounds like both of them got damaged. Even if one of them got damaged, also that should be potter. If two people are walking, one of them got damaged. Two people are running, one of them got damaged. So potter. And usually, if one of them is running, it's just then he's to blame. Erev Shabbos, he's not to blame. Amamar, Modi is Erev Shabbos ben Hashmashas Shehu Pater B'nei Shavuos Bereshus. They have some have Erev Shabbos don't have the Girsa. The Erev Shabbos my Bereshus Ika. So the Girsa might mean to say what I was hinting to, that Ben Hashmashas. Some don't have the word. Maybe take out the word Erev Shabbos. My Bereshus Ika. What permission does he have? So you'd say that he's going to do the chant, going to take a shower, all these things.
Why are you taking that out? How do we know that people have rishus on Erev Shabbos to run?
Right, it wouldn't be necessary to word because it says we're going on the statement Erev Shabbos ben Hashmashas. So my rishus ika. It's just superfluous. But I'm thinking also. I had a thought that the Gemara's kasha is not Erev Shabbos. What's different? Of course, Erev Shabbos is different. Shkia is in another half hour, and I got to run. The Gemara's kasha might be ben Hashmashas. My Bishosiko. What that's what I'm suggesting that the Moshe Gash is only Ben Hashmashas over there. Everything's supposed to be done already. You can't do anything anymore, Ben Hashmashas. I'm just throwing it out as a possibility.
Running to Shofar Lachad.
I think that's the Gemara's answer, maybe. But maybe. The Gemara answers Kidi Rabbi Chanina that there is running Erev Shabbos Ben Hashmashas. Dam Rabbi Chanina, famous Gemara, we say it every Friday night. We do it every Friday night. Don't say it. Come and let us go out towards the queen. I'm sorry, the Kala, the queen. The bride, the queen. Kala, Malkusa. Two different titles. Kala, Malkusa. Others say a little different. In
other words, he said, let's go out.
Towards.
So they're running out, like what they did in Spot. They went out to the.
So that's the question. What does the Gemara mean? What does the Gemara mean? Are they running out?
They're running out to sing L'chadodi.
Is that what it says?
The field to greet the Shabbos.
Supposed to run. That's the Gemara saying.
They're supposed to run out.
Some say go over.
That's why it's been a shmashos, and they're running out to do that. And so if they damage somebody, it's okay.
Some say a little different. Bovenate say like Shabbos Kala Malkusa, but they just added on the word Shabbos. It's not such. Okay. Also Kala Malkusa. Instead, both of them said Kala Malkusa, but he said Shabbos Kala Malkusa. Is there the first one also for sure meant that? I'm not sure the difference. Rabbi Yana used to wrap himself like in a talus and a beggar and stand. He didn't run. He was just there. Amar Boi Kala. So he called Shabbos to Kala, and he didn't come towards the Shabbos. He just got ready and he invited the Kala to come. Does that mean the same? What?
And we bowed down when we said Boi Kala.
Boi Kala. But they don't run. So the first one is going up over Neitze. So is that what the Gemara is saying? According to Chanina, said is going out and even running. And according to Rabbi Yana, he's not running because he's koi. He stays in the same place and he says Boi Kala.
It seems sort of like a hell of a step to me.
To run.
Somebody's on his way to shul, and somebody else is running to greet the Kala, and he damages him. And he's putter because, well, I've got this big mitzvah to say Boi Kala.
He didn't do it. And what if he's running because of the chant? That's okay. Then you'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
Because it's an emergency. If someone's going to save somebody, so it's an emergency. You got to run. No, then you'd be okay with that. Yeah, I understand.
Because I think everybody's.
Maybe Salah there always says that you're running for mitzvahs. You knock the guy down on running to mitzvah. You can't do those things. You got to be careful. You're running for mitzvah, so you're big the guy.
If it's before everybody, it seems like everybody.
No, it sounds like you can say so. Don't run, but it's coming Shabbos now. He has to run. It's a running time. Everybody.
During the week to run for mitzvah, you got to be careful.
Will there be
that's
okay?
surely no.
If the cholent doesn't get put on before the time,
so you won't have cholent.
Then you won't have cholent. It'll be cold or whatever.
And then
but if you go out too late to greet the Kala, what will happen?
You didn't greet the Kala. The Kala came and nobody greeted her.
Did you do an Avera?
It's not called Avera. The Kala comes. If he'd be running to a chuppah that needs some help, would he be okay? Would you be okay with him?
So I'd like to suggest that Pshat here is Erev Shabbos when you're running to prepare the Cholent before Ben Hashmashas, it's Potter. And the Chiddush is, because of this issue of Kabbalah's Shabbos with Bava Kamma, even Ben Hashmoshes.
Even
Even
as much,
though-
but even as much as what? Even
They're
as
gonna
much.
be potter.
Why?
Because it's also a big bit
So-
like, let's go greet the
So that's what.
Kaddish.
So maybe Yaakov was happy with the first half, going for Erev
And
Shabbos.
then
But
the
Ben
Gemara
Hashmoshes,
Kaddish, even Ben
Even that
Hashmoshes,
far.
when you're not, the chance isn't going to get, the chance is ready anyway.
By the time he got the cholent on, he got all dressed, and he's still, he wants to be late, so he has to go out. Okay,
I have another suggestion.
yeah.
I'm not sure, but then I take away my point that the more so what after Ben Hashmoshes, and Ben Hashmoshes I don't know. Maybe it means before towards Ben Hashmoshes. Maybe only part before Shabbos comes. Once Shabbos comes, it's supposed to stop. And the Bova Kamma doesn't mean going towards the sunset or going towards the field. It means running towards the challenge. Means to get finished with all your malacha. Means
Preparations for the
right. Means what is
Oh, the
Shabbos?
king is, the queen is.
What's the
coming.
queen? Right, the queen.
Because the Erev Shabbos
And
meal,
Rashi,
not
Rashi,
cholent.
Rashi in Shabbos
Uh-huh.
says that when you makabel Shabbos and you say Rashi says that you're being makabel the Issa Malacha. What does mean Kabbalah Shabbos? Kabbalah Shabbos being a queen? What's queen? Who queen? Well, is it a person? The Issa Malacha. You're coming to be makabel with Chavivos, the Issa Malacha of Shabbos. That's how Rashi makes a very literature Kabbalah Shabbos. I'm accepting upon myself the Issa Malacha. Hashem says don't do Malacha on Shabbos. So he's going with Chavivos. He's not coming to look at the sunset or go out to the field. He's coming to accept the Issa Malacha. So he's running. Why is he running? Because he has to do Malacha. He has to finish up. He's ready to be Makabal the Malacha. And then,
Could you say it a positive way too?
what's the
Think it in
positive?
the negative way that there's an Issa Malacha. The positive
Issa
way.
Malacha is very positive.
Well, the word Isser.
Right. That's how I want to make. I want to make the Issa Malacha is a very positive thing. This one he's doing it the Chavivos, Rashi and Shabbos. I don't have it right here. I think it's like Kufshi test or something like that. If I can find it. Oh, here the Gemara should say it. Where is this? This Gemara is also in Masechah Shabbos, I think. Thank you.
Like, there's a whole Gemara about it.
Thank you.
It says that you should feel when Shabbos is coming in, it's like the queen is coming to your house.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like in the
That's
Gemara
what-
about
that-
where they all preparations
that's what
they
it should-
made for the
That-
cover
that-
of Shabbos.
Right.
And so they're hurrying to
If
make
you-
sure
if the
that-
queen
but
would
you say,
come to
why
your
are they
house-
hurrying? They're only hurrying
Right.
to do the cover
Right.
of
If the
Shabbos.
queen would come to your
before they
house,
can't-
your house is
For
going to
the
be
things
nice
they
and
wouldn't be able to do
clean
on Shabbos.
and smelling
And also,
good.
you're going to be rushing to the last second.
And it's going to be a very beautiful feeling. The queen is coming to my house. You'd be
Wasn't
feeling
one
very
of them
excited.
Messiah Sharm brings that he went in and out. He kept
Yeah,
going in and
in
out.
preparations.
In
Yes.
preparations. So
Yes.
that's what you're talking about. He was doing that so that things would be done before the Isser goes into effect.
I just want to put in the.
Maybe we're saying this.
Let's see if we see Rashi.
So where are we up to right now? Was the Mishnah?
This is the Lamed base.
Yeah,
Lamed Aleph.
The Mishnah.
So this is
Tomorrow we're going to learn Lamed base.
So this is a Rashi in Shabbos Kufiyot, same Gemara about Masata Pekoy Bebegodim Noi. Boi Kala.
What?
This is Rashi in Masechah Shabbos of Kufiyot Amar Aleph.
Okay.
Boi Kala, same Gemara as ours. Hachi Kori Leil Shvisa Shabbos. He called the not doing malacha on Shabbos. He called it a Kala.
The not doing
Shvisa Shabbos.
Stop doing work on Shabbos.
So he accepted the Kala. What's the Kala? The Kala is the Issa Malacha.
I see. Okay.
Very, very positive.
So
And because of the excitement of Issa Malacha, he called it.
He called it a Kala, but I think that it would make, if that's the pshat, so then you could say that the running is in order not to do malacha.
the running in order to so that everything gets done.
But then it's not. Then maybe.
And I seem to recall somewhere in Shabbos we also had that.
That Benish Moshe doesn't mean Benish Moshe, it means before Benish Moshe is
I
known.
seem to recall somewhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Yashikov, everybody. Thank you. Bob and Eitzei, Likra Shabbos, Kala Malkus.
That's fun.
1 days. Okay, 3 o'clock tomorrow and
Yashikov.
3 o'clock
Tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Have a good Shabbos. Have a